Kari boy no lam ve'al mayo. Kari boy no lam ve'al mayo. Oyantu malko melech malchayo. Kari boy no lam ve'al mayo. Hello, Mazel, Shidduch, Vadim Elchanan, Chaya, Melochim, Karim, Oinola, Ve'yomayo. Hello, Mazel, Shidduch, Vadim Elchanan, Chaya, Melochim, Karim, Oinola, Ve'yomayo. Amud Beis. Did you hear me? Welcome. What do we got? Oh, Manchester, live in Manchester. Wow, that's a nice crowd. David. Oh, wave. You have to wave to your father. Maybe he'll see you. Zoom to Zoom. Gewaldig. Ah, what a Kiddush Hashem. Oh, there's even more. Here he is. Okay, Gewaldig. We have Mayor Planka with us all the way from Toronto. Shulim. Very nice. Steve Fishel. Really?
Oh, Steve.
Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Jeffrey Rubin from Hendon, London.
Jeffrey Rubin from Hendon, London, and that's your son. Shalom Aleichem. Welcome, welcome. Who else do we have here?
Sign somebody up during Shabbos watch.
You allowed to sign people up on Shabbos? I'm kidding. Gewaldig. It's working to get more and more people. We have with us, of course, it's Matzah Shabbos. We have Eitan G in the house. He made a siyum on Parshas Vayera, and since in the Parsha of Avraham Avinu went out of his way and he gave every guest a full tongue, so Eitan, should we should go?
Spread it around.
Spread it around.
Here you go, boys.
I don't know if they're going to be able to. Oh, the ice cream, the milchiks, Yishkoyach, and this also. Oh, boys, what is this? These are the angels. What is this for?
Remember when Avraham Avinu gave the angels the tongue and ugo?
Ah, Ugo.
Yeah.
Ah, very nice, very nice. Gewaldig. I can't wait for next parasha. Okay, Rabbi Isai, so we have here the famous, are you coming to the Shabbaton? I don't want to hear any excuses.
No. Beyond my skill set.
Check this out. All right, so Rabbi Ben Shushan has something to tell the Olam here.
So people have been messaging me and asking me, what does the MDY Shabbaton look like? The great siyum that we're going to be. What does it look like? Can you define it? Can you box it into one word and give it to us clear? What does it look like? And the answer is yeah. Oh yeah, I could. Goes like this. Baba Kama.
2017.
Baba Metzia.
2017.
Bava Basra.
2020.
Now, if you do the math, the exact gematria of Dumendu Castel Grand Vin is Mamish down to the Heilige Reb Eli Stefansky. In gematria. Now, the time of the math doesn't work out. I hear. Have a l'chaim with us until it will work out. That, my friends, is going to be our Shabbaton. We'll see you then.
He said that's the Shabbaton. Okay, can't wait for his speech. It was unreal. His speech was mamish. I actually asked him and agreed to redo the entire speech and record it after Shabbos. He said, yeah, and that didn't work out. But I'm looking for this. Rabbi Isai, 2024, and this is how a Pashta Yid undergoes surgery with local anesthesia, photo taken by the anesthesiologist. There's a Yid doing the daf during surgery. And this is somebody doing the daf while he checks out people in the store. He's checking people out. He's a cashier register, I guess. I love the idea of Shabbos of Chizuk for a variety of reasons. The Shabbaton in Connecticut isn't in the cards, Baruch Hashem. But my wife had an alternative idea. Would there be interest in a similar program in Israel? Yes? How much are you willing to pay? Per person? No, we don't need anything. We just don't want to come out of pocket $100,000. You willing to pay $1,000 a person? You'll give 10% of that. Okay. Okay. So now we only have to raise 90. Givaldic. Think of how beautiful it could be in a country where the walls between the Shiftei Yisrael can appear so thick. MDY can bring us together around Torah. I know that the logistics can be substantial, but I think we could do something amazing, and with sponsors, we could even do it in a beautiful way that could be accessible for both Hebrew and English speakers without breaking the bank. There are many hotels and similar options that can house large numbers of people and have the ballrooms to host and inspire Milav and Malka. Please let me know if this is something I can help to make possible. Avi Berg. See, the thing is, if the Olam gets together and does a Givaldic, the Olam here in Eretz Yisrael, in MDY, they're a little spoiled because I spoiled them in the beginning. We used to do siyumim, and now everybody's like, what could MDY do for me? What I gotta actually pay to come for Shabbos? Nah. It's 100 shekel? No. Can't. The guy's driving 3 beautiful brand new cars. I can't afford it. The siyum. We have siyumim. Guys don't come sometimes. Like, why don't you come? It's 100 shekel. 100 shekel. It's 100 shekel for an entire Masechta. You kidding me? I'm not making fun if you don't have money, but I know what this guy is driving, okay? If the guy Nebuch can't afford it, I get it. This guy could. Fine. So if the Olam gets together, and you could speak to Benny, he's thinking about it, he's looking at different options, but the options are expensive, and people have ideas, they want to throw ideas at him, Givaldic. We'll take it. Eli Victor learning, he's one of the biggest MDY fans there are. Eli Victor learning the daf with his 2-year-old nephew. He wrote me a whole letter. I think I read it here once. Mom, it's a whole letter. Dear Eli Stefansky, earlier this week we got it from Shiva for my husband. As I reflected upon the past few years when my husband was sickly and often housebound, I realized what a significant impact your daily share has had on him. Me and everyone that crossed paths with my husband. He listened to you on the computer every day and then hocked about what he learned with everyone and everyone who called or visited. Your share made the focus of his hour day about learning as opposed to all of his aches and pains. I just wanted to thank you for the joy, interaction, and focus that permeated our home because of what and how you teach. Hashem should bench you with infinite koyach and may continue giving you share until the coming of Mashiach, when my husband will eagerly join up with you again, Mrs. Shloimi Miller, wife. Here is Rabbi Miller at a picture that we took in Borough Park. This is a long time ago. This is all the way in the beginning. When we got together, we had a small group in Borough Park.
Back when you had a beard.
I have a beer twice a year, my friend, during Sfira in the 9 days. But yeah. The receptive of the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parnassa B'revach and Refuah Yosef. Parnassa Kidnovations LLC, my uncle Rebbitzen Stefansky, Pressman, and Fishel. Tzvi Spero, Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga, and Yehudit. Chaya, and thank you to Rebbitzen Stefansky for giving her husband klal. It should be a zechus for a year filled with Mazel, Bracha, hatzlacha, Parnassa B'revach and Refuah. Parnassa Yosef and Chaya, Sara for Parnassa B'revach. Parnassa Tzvi Spero, Refuah Shleimah for Itamar Efraim ben Chaya Blima. Parnassa Refuah Shleimah for Yosef Chaim Shmuel ben Alden and Chama from his grateful family. Amen. By David Zaks to my father Rabbi Yaakov Mordechai Zaks. Givaldic. I think I know what that is. It's my chavrusa. If that's the one, that's the guy that we had the yarmulke story in the Mir Yeshiva. Those who know. Peretz Chaim Levine, he wrote me, he goes, I'm moichel you as long as you bring more people to Torah, say any story you want. It's fine. You can even make them up. Peretz Chaim Levine. I don't know if he said that. Oh, thank you. He always reminds me. Tonight, actually it's today, is the Chazon Ish's yard site. And I have a lot of, Ruchni's connection to Chazon Ish. I read his book, the book about him, the ArtScroll book, many, many years ago, and it made a tremendous impression on me when I was 15 years old. And my brother, his name is Avram Yishai also. Zechus Nishmas, Avram Yishai ben Rav Shmaryo Yosef. Avram Yishai ben Shmaryo Yosef. The Chazon Ish didn't have children, but he has a Svarim, the famous Chazon Ish Sefer. He wrote on Kol HaTorah Kula, probably more than anyone that you could think of, on every topic in the Torah possible, from mikvahs to kachim to the timeline and everything in between. Chazon Ish says today, and happy birthday to Shmuel Israeli MDY extraordinaire at Mea Ve'esrim. Happy birthday, Moshe Dax. Lili Nishmas, my father, Rav Tzvi Hirsch ben Moshe on his 10th yard side on Shabbos. Parnassa B'revach and Refuah Shleimah, Naftali Zev ben Sara or Sara Fayga. Art of the month for zechus, rebellion, the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah and joy for so many. Art of the month, we said that. Okay. Do I have to open it up here? What?
No. So the first Gemara I've ever learned, but
first Gemara you ever learned? Let's see. Let's
from 1883 about the trees on the wood business.
I usually don't like to open up gifts live because sometimes it's embarrassing. What is this?
All different types of wood it mentioned in the Gemara. 12 mentioned, I think these are 10 of the
Geschmack. Lebanon, cedar. Smells good. Pine. Oh, I like this. So we can use this in shir. Shkoyach. That's a nice gift. Thank you very much. I like it. I have to remember to use this. Add it to my, and it doesn't even take up a lot of room. That's smart. Little pieces of, what is this? Myrtle. Wow. That's how, you mean that they unroll it. It's not that wide, the tree. Very cool. Okay, shkoyach, wow. To remember to use this. Remember, it's always brought down. Nice gift. Thoughtful, I like that. Shkoyach. Rabbi Yisai, we're holding by the Gemara. We'll just talk about the Mishnah for a moment. Daf Kufim Gimel Amud Beis. If a person left older and younger children, Leah Lane, who's nifter with very young children that can't take care of themselves, and the older children, they, what? We didn't say the Mishnah? Oh, okay, so we'll say the Mishnah. Beautiful. I'm confused between the Hebrew and the English. Great. So if you just came today, if this is your very first time, we're starting a brand new Masechta. Masechta is Hiniach Banim. Hiniach Banim G'doylem Uktanim. Person left Yisayimim, older ones that can take care of themselves, younger ones who cannot. Hishbichu G'doylem Zanachasim. Hishbichu Le'emtza. If the Yisayimim, the older ones, took the property and now the property gains and has profits, the profits must be shared with all the Yisayimim, even the younger ones. The Gemara will explain, where did they get the money from? It depends. Did they get the money from their own pocket? That will be different. If they got the money to invest from the inheritance, okay, then it's half and half. It goes to the younger ones as well. Imamru, but if they made a condition, look, this is what we have. We want to take a portion of that, work it on our own, and not worry about the younger Yisayimim. And then it goes to themselves. As the Gemara is going to explain, this is a woman, not every woman, but a woman who has a Yerusha. She's a Yerush. There's two ways that can happen, we'll see in the Gemara. So if she's a Yerush and there are orphans involved, and she takes care of the property, and it makes profit, the same thing like the G'doylem, she must share the profits with the youngsters. But if she says, she stipulates, and she says, look, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to take care of business, but it's for myself. I cannot worry and plan things for other people. I'm doing it for myself. As the Gemara is going to explain, by a woman it's different. Women in those days, certainly, they didn't go out and plow fields. And if she's doing it for her own benefits because she wants to live. She's not worrying about the Yisrael right now. So she stipulates, she said specifically, this is what my husband left over, and I'm going to take care of it for myself. It goes to herself. Says the Gemara. Here, let me ask you a question for the Olam. Not a lot of the Israelis got this. One guy got it, but he learned the Gemara earlier. So if you learned the Gemara earlier, don't answer. If you go ahead and you give your friend a gift, it says, right? It's a Mishlei. You're not supposed to take gifts. Let's say you went and you gave him a gift. Are you over an Avera? Are you Mekayim a mitzvah? Is it the Rabbanan, or the Raisa, or an Avera? What is it? Is it a minhag? What exactly happened when you give your friend a gift? Anybody? David, don't even try to answer, okay? Stop. Next. I'm used to shutting you up over here. Now I got to go that way. Now Hillel's going to try to answer. No, anybody else besides David? Somebody! Shalom Aleichem, guys over there. How you doing? Anybody? You have an answer? It looks like you know. Hello, it's not that complicated. It's very simple, actually. Anybody? It's a mitzvah. Why is it a mitzvah? Where does it say in the Torah? No, David. What?
Everybody likes to get a gift. So that's a mitzvah. You're doing him a favor.
Doing a taiva. But that's what I was looking for. That's why I told him to be quiet. It's Gemilos Chesed. Gemilos Chesed. When you give somebody a gift, Gemilos Chesed. Eitan G gave me a gift. He gave me a gift now. Shkoyach. You're Mekayim a mitzvah of Gemilos Chesed. You're Mekayim more than Gemilos Chesed because it's going to help Klal Yisrael learn Torah. We'll have a geschmack in it. But giving a gift to another human being, anything. Give him a candy. Gemilos Chesed. Think about it. Gershon used to be the candy man. I don't know if he still is. On Simchas Torah, it's chesed. Just every kid you give a bag of whatever it is, chesed. Or it might be the opposite of chesed because it's chesed for the dentist. Fine, whatever. Yeah, it's a mitzvah, not a joke. Okay, how do I know this? Because it's in the Mishnah coming up. Omer Rav Chaviva bereid Rav Yosef bereid Rava. Rav Chaviva, the son of Rav Yosef, who's the son of Rava. It seems like, because I know that Rava's father was Rav Yosef, so over here, it seems like Rava had a son, Yosef, so either he was Sephardi, and he named his son the same name as his father, and the Sephardi will bring a ride from here, that's okay, or his father was Nifter, I don't know exactly, or maybe it's like, who was it, the Nesivis? He got up there, Vikar Shmai B'Yisrael, they asked him the name, but he was thinking and learning, so he thought that the Moil was asking for his name, he was spacing out. So he said his name. I forgot what his name is, Yehuda or something. And so it came out that the son's name was Yehuda ben Yehuda. And they went to ask the Rebbitzen, and the Rebbitzen said, if it was because he was thinking and learning, you don't have a better name than that, and just leave it as is. So, Omer Rav Chaviva bereid Rav Yosef bereid Rava mishmei Rava. Rav Chaviva, the grandson of Rava, said in the name of his grandfather Rava, Lo yishanu ela sheshafchu nechasim. This machmas nechasim. This, that you have to split with the Yisayim. The older boys, the 20-year-olds, go in, they plow, they do all this work. Well, they didn't really do that much work, because if they did a lot of work, things changed. So we're going to say that what happened was, if they took money from the Yerusha, and they hired workers, and they did whatever, then they have to divide everything equally, because they did what? They made a few phone calls, but they used the money from the Yerusha. But if they use their own private funds, and with their own private money they went and they made improvements in the land, thank you, then the profit goes to themselves. As the Gemara, even if the father only left over wells of water, you still have to divide it. But why? You must protect the water. In order for the water source to be valuable, somebody has to protect it. So there's work that went into it. You see that even if you watch the water, here we have a nice picture here. This is how You give the artist, you say, go, give me something, watching the water. So in his mind, a well turns into a water balloon with a guy with a machine gun. Okay, fine. It's not pshat in the sugya. It's very close. Fine. It just reminded me, every time, because David, he dressed up gewaldig on Purim. You guys remember? What? You're just going to reuse the same costume, just
Different colors.
you come with the water balloon. Nobody know what you're talking about. Okay, different colors. Repurpose the old costume. So, if you have to protect it, you have to be shimer, so the youngster shouldn't get anything. Says the it's very easy to watch. The whole point is, when the youngsters can't plow, they don't know how to do things in the field, so they're completely out of it. It's 100% the older ones. Great. So then the older ones get to keep it. But anything that a youngster could do, you just stand there and make sure that animals don't jump in or that people don't steal, then they participate in all the profits. If they say straight out, this is what Daddy left us, and we are going to take a piece and do everything our own, and we want our own profits, the profits for themselves. Says the Gemara, Rav Safra, Shavak Avua Zuze. Rav Safra, Mazel Chaya. Rav Safra, his father left him money. Shaklinu Obad Bu Iska. Now, I'm going to ask a question. If you were here on Friday, do not answer. But this one, even David can answer. This is worth 10,500 MDY points. Who was Rav Safra's partner? Same lashon. Rav Safra did an iska, and we had it in Bamitzia. Hillel? Chazara? You're thinking, huh? Should I hold off, Menachem? Huh?
Was it the guy that he had to go and collect money from him or something?
He...
From far away.
No, he decided to sell without telling that guy. The Gemara says he's... I don't remember a snake there. I didn't come up with this question. This is the Belzer. Told me this. Of course. It was Isser Giyora. Okay, just 10,500 points. Chaval, nobody got it. You would have had 10,500 points. You could get 0 on the merch website with that. So Rav Safra goes and he made a business with the money that his father left him over. Maybe with the Sigiyara, maybe not. And his brother said, listen, you owe us. And he said, no. So take us to the entire. So he said an amazing thing. He says, Rav Safra doesn't owe you anything. Why? Because Rav Safra is a huge Talmid Chacham. Obviously, since he doesn't get up from his Gemara, he's learning all day long. He doesn't waste a second. So if he goes to the field and works, he's not working for somebody else. He's working just that he has a little bit to eat, and that's it. And Memela, he doesn't have to give you anything. Again, Lo Shavak Girsei, he doesn't leave his learning b'torach la'achrina, to work for other people. So I'm going to say something. I said this a while ago. It's a very aggressive and very to the left. If everybody's over here, I want to say something over here. I said it before. Nobody even sent me an email, but so I'm warning you. I'm doing this just to push some buttons. Schmack. Maybe somebody will think in the center, kind of. I'm throwing this out there. Why in the world do we work so much? We work. Why? We work because we want to be able to give to our children, really, and to give a lot of tzedakah and this, that. We're busy buying our children apartments, helping them out, the chasas, this, that. But this got me thinking. He doesn't leave his learning. V'tarach la'achrina. Achrina could mean, I'm serious about this, it can mean your own kids. It can mean the people you give tzedakah to. You think to yourself, why do you learn so little? So little. Because you are working your teirech for other people. Who says that you have to be so into getting every one of your kids an apartment and setting them up? Maybe they should set themselves up. I don't know. Maybe. I'm throwing this out. I'm going this way. You want to take it to the center to say, okay, so maybe don't work 10 hours a day, work 8 hours a day. But why those extras, all that extra time that you're working to support yourself? You know that you don't need all that. Yeah, you can get away with little bread, butter, you already have an apartment. So why are you working all that? Because you're setting your kids up. So you're tereach lachrina on your own account. So all I'm saying is, people should be learning li'ili nishmascha, your own neshama. You got to learn for your own li'ili neshama, and don't count on anybody learning for your neshama, because probably nobody will. They will take those gemaras at the shiva house, and usually they don't learn it. So Mamela, if you want to have a nice account up there, do it on your own, and stop being tereach lachrina. So that's saying stop completely. You know what I'm saying? Think about it just a little bit.
The base measure is open all day.
Besides on Shabbos, but this Shabbos it was open actually, and a few people came in. Yes, I would say. Could be don't be like that guy from what's his name? The Magachir that says the Shir in Yiddish. So he learned from me that you take off an hour or two a day, and he started giving a Shir in Yiddish, and then he took off the whole day. Now he doesn't work at all. Zero. Bemis. I went to visit him. What's his name? I forgot his name already. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not telling people to do that. I'm just saying to think about that idea. Maybe half hour less every day. Now, what business does this woman have in the Yerusha here? She's not part of it. Why is she even planting things in a Yerusha field? We're talking about a woman who's helping the assignment. Why? Because she herself inherited. How did she inherit? So either her husband put her in the inheritance, or it goes like this. Whoa, it's working fast. Do you guys see that? Let's do it again. Yaakov, he has 2 sons, Reuben and Shimon. Reuben has 2 sons, and Shimon only has a daughter. Okay, now, Reuben and Shimon go bye-bye. Then goes Yaakov. So Yaakov's property is inherited by whom? By Reuben's children and by Shimon's child, which is a woman. She gets the full Yerusha that we learned. So now she is splitting Yerusha with these Yisayimim, and she's taking care of it for them. They're young. She feels bad for them. It goes through the fathers, through Reuben and Shimon. She gets half, they get half. And Mamela, she's busy with that property. So if she works it, then they get their share in it. Unless she tells them straight out, I'm not working for you. Says the Gemara, Pshita, certainly she has to split it. Why not? It's not her way. It's not a woman's way to go work for other people or to work, period. So if she's already working on the farm, it's something strange. She's doing it for herself. It's as if she said straight out, I'm not working for the assignment. I'm doing it for myself. Kamash Malon, she could only take it for herself if she said it specifically. Says Gemara B'Mamra Ruman Shenichli Bali Arini Yosef Echaz, but if she said specifically Shvichel Ha'atzma, goes to herself. Shita, what's the big chiddush? Shmal the same keeping the Shvichel Milsa the Amri Gatorcha Kamei Yasmi Achule Yachlo. You know, I know Chaya Kamiansky. You went to Simcha camp, right? Simcha, whatever it's called. What's it called? Camp Simcha. Kids that go there, they're very proud of it because it's good for shidduchim. You're a person that cares about other people, a person that cares about sick people. It's not so comfortable to deal with them. There's pride in it. When this lady happens to be in shidduchim right now, she needs a shidduch desperately. She's an almana. She tells people, look on my resume. I took care of the assignment. I'm a good person. It's good for her. People like it. So you think that she's moichel? Kamash no mechila here. It's all for herself. Selfish. This is an incredible halacha that the Gemara says at the end. It's one of the only 3 halachas in the entire Shas that almost don't make sense. Chacham made a takana, but it's hard to put logic into it. And it's a good thing you guys are here tonight because this could save you a lot of money. So let's say, Avi, you have an extra apartment somewhere, and Chaya from Camp Simcha, he gets married. So you say, you know what? Yeah, you can use my apartment until the other one is ready. Okay? Sit there, a year, 2 years. You know what happens? It becomes Chaya's automatically. Boom. No questions asked. Why? You didn't make a kinyan, you didn't sign it over, nothing. Then I have to ask you for permission. It becomes his. That's what the Gemara says. There's a couple of ways out of it. The easiest way out of it is to leave something in the house, a bottle of wine, a picture on the wall, something. But if you give him an empty house, like in Dalit, just plain walls, be careful. Don't tell me I didn't warn you. I'm warning you right now. Kamamish lose an apartment here. Hamasi isha lebnei gadol babayis knoi. Here's a picture. It's not mamish like this, but let's say he gets married in a wedding hall. This is the wedding hall, whatever. He goes fashlufen over there. He's kind of the whole place. It's his. So in those days, obviously, it's not wedding halls, 10 people, a little 4x4 machsan. They made a little wedding there. Everybody would bring, there's different gemaras. I remember once learning, I don't remember now anymore. Maybe it's time I made it up. But let's just say people brought their own food, or no, it seems like from the Gemara here that they used to serve nice food. But everybody had a little roll and a little sardine, and Shalom Yisrael, that was the whole chasana. But that room becomes the chasans. There's a few stipulations here, so it's not Chaya. This can't be Chaya. V'dafka gadol has to be the b'char. V'dafka psula, it has to be a psula. He's marrying a woman who's a psula. V'dafka ishtoi rishoyna, and it has to be that it's your son's first wife. V'dafka shisiya rishoyn, and it's the first marriage. So this works usually by a b'char. Now, the Rishbam also adds that it's also when the father has a place to live in that city, he has his own house, and there's nothing in the house, as we're going to see in a second, the walls are bare. So the Gemara says, and if it's a two-story, that we understand by ourselves, it doesn't get the second floor, it only gets one floor. What if this house also includes a little, pergola, whatever it's called, pergola. In Hebrew, it's pergola. Shnei batim. How in Hebrew? Pergola. I'm all confused. Shnei batim zelefnim zeh. What about if it looks like this, and the wedding was in the inner room? Batim. You see over here, batim are room. The wedding was in the inner room. Does he get the outer room also? So, Bais Vachsadra, we have a question. We have a question on Shnei Batim Zeh Lefnim Zeh. One is inside the other. To get to the inner ones, you have to walk through the outer one. Take Ma'u, take. Meisvei, we have a question on all this. Father said, okay, here, I have a machsan, there's a lawnmower there, there's a bunch of things there. Klei bayis kana, bayis lei kana. Over here it says you don't get the house. Why not? I thought that if you give your son a house, and he's a b'char, and it's his first marriage, blah, 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 the whole thing, he gets the house. No, his father uses it for storage, so he doesn't get the house. The father leaves one bird in there, he has a pet parakeet, and it's in the house, he doesn't get the house. Rabbi Yehuda Rav Papi Amri afilu atzitzu daharsana. Geshmak, like you want your son to come in after the chassan. Geshmak is smell. So what do you leave him? Leave him like fried fish in the pan. So if you leave him that, then that means the house is not his. Mar Zutra did this, and he married off his son. You think that these things are new to our generation? They used to do it back in the day also. They would hang their shoes in the house. Ravashi answered he left 1 cup of oil there, and that was enough to tell his son, dream on, I'm not giving you this house. There are 3 things in Shas that the Rabbanan made it kihilchasa b'loy time. It's like a halacha. It doesn't really fit into any other halachas that we know. We know they have to make a kinyan, and then to give somebody a piece of property, he has to make a chazaka and a shtar. What do you mean? He was there after the chassan and becomes his. What's the pshat in it? So chadaha, this son gets the house. Why? Because as the Rashbam says here, let me see if there's a nicer one. Yes, he did it nicer. It's a terrible thing for a chassan to... Dave, did you leave the video that he showed? Chaval. I said, I in the Hebrew shir, I said it reminds me of this Bardak thing, because we had the Efi from Bardak, we had him and his partner come here for a shir. And the following day, when I was learning the sugya, I thought about that new piece that they have. It's a gewaldige piece. It's kosher v'yosher. It's a whole piece about chasanas in the Haredi world, and how this Rosh Hashiva, this Rosh Kollel is pushing the other guy to give more money. one of the things, I'll just tell you one of the lines. So as I'm saying it, they found it online and threw it in. Because they said, I don't know if it's okay. But one of the lines is like this Rosh Chayil goes to the Mechutin at the Vart, and he says, listen, I hear you give a shir at night. He goes, no, I don't. He goes, no, come on, you do. I heard you do. He says, no. He says, but what am I going to write? I have to write that I made a shidduch with Harav. What am I going to call you? The Magid Shir. And so he turns it around to him and he says, and what are you? What are you? Harav Agoin? So he goes, no, Chaya. Yeah, okay, fine. You want to call me Harav Agoin? Okay. Kitzer. V'chulu. Anyways, no, what happened over there is that all the way at the end of the Chazan, I think I told you this, the guy put a lot of money on the side, and all this Rosh Chayil was able to put together with all his money after he wasted it on flowers and then this and then that. He got on like this machsan here in Ramat B'Shem somewhere, where, the video, you see the pipes, the sewage pipes and everything, and a bunch of garbage cans in front of the door. They're moving the things away, and they come in, and the chas is like, oh no. And he says, what's the problem? And like the camera turns to the cabinets, and it's mud on the cabinets. Everything's disgusting. And he goes, Yesh baya? Like, what's the problem? Like, what is the problem? What? Tiftach halon. It's gewaldig. He goes like this, and he's throwing psukim. He's throwing. He's like, he thinks with the psukim he's going to cover up the problem. Anyway, Zok the Gemara. He had a beer on Friday to see it. Maybe Yosef will throw in a piece or two. Zok the Gemara. Dave, show him, tell him where it is. Send they shouldn't sue us. They'll say on the thing, copyright. Zog the Gemara Bashi answered the Rebbe told Yashi the Mishnah. We said, how did that mean? We said this. Idach. What's the second thing that doesn't make sense? The Rabbi Yehuda, Shmuel, we all remember this. A person writes, I want to give everything I own to my wife. You would think she would inherit everything. Instead of inheriting everything, what does she inherit? Zero. Nothing. Not even one cup of Coke. Nothing. It's garnished. Because he made her into troubles. How does this make sense? He said in Mefurish, I'm giving you everything to my wife. Azay is, if it works on Hefker, Bez and Hefker, Chacham understood this is what he wants. Idach, the Amarav, Manali Biatcha. This is, we'll just show the Shibuda de Reb Nassan. We know the famous Shibuda de Reb Nassan. The guy in the middle lent money to the Malva. The Malva lent money to the Leiva. Oh, you don't see it because whatever. Gershon, hello. Oh, he's not even up there. Look at that. I'm not joking. He's not even up there. Okay, so wow. Baruch Hashem, listen, it's nice and quiet tonight. We can't complain. The guy in the middle, Mr. Shlishi, lends money to the Malva. The Malva lends money to the Leiva. Now, the Malva tells the Leiva, you know what? Instead of you paying me, pay the third guy. But how does that work? There's no kinyan. The Leiva didn't make a kinyan with the Malva. There's nothing going on here. It's just words. How does it work? If he said it in front of three people, kana. It works without a kinyan. So that's also big chiddush and halacha. Shalom Yisrael. Daf Kuf Ben Dalet Amud Beis. Turning of the Daf. Berkovici family, the zechus klal Yisrael that includes all of you. Glenn Esserson, dedicated to Gilad Jacob Israel. Thank you for bringing the Daf into my life. Baruch Hashem. So what's going on here is, as you can see a little bit in the Rashbam, a little bit in the Gemara, you have to make sense of what's going on here. Basically, the king, smart guy, he wants to collect taxes. How's he going to do it? So he makes somebody every month, he takes another guy and says, okay, you're in charge of the taxes for this location. You, for collecting taxes, I'll give you $20,000. Who's not going to do it? So he works really hard, he makes $20,000. It's a big zechus to be the collector. The king doesn't care, it's $20,000, but he put it in his pocket $500,000. Every month, somebody else has that zechus. Now, the king goes to this house. Why? Because he owes the father of the house. He owes him that favor. It's his turn. But the father just died yesterday. So instead of taking the father, he takes the son. So the son is going to say, oh, I should get the $20,000. No. $20,000 belongs to the state. Why? Because it's the state that the king wanted to appoint to collect the taxes. It's not you. You're not special. It's because of your father. Somebody came to me after this year and said, okay, so that's similar to if I get a job because I don't know, different things. Think about how it could apply to today. You split it with the estate. Now a brand new halacha, nothing to do with the first line in the Mishnah. Chalav and Israel. One of the boys, before they divided the Yerusha, he got sick. He needed medication. He needed certain stuff. So he went and he took from. So could he take from the Yerusha or not? No. Nisrabim Mishalatzma, he has to pay for it on his own. So now the Gemara just explains what I said before. Tana hay umnos hamelach. It's talking about the king told you to do this job, so he's getting all this payment is because of his father, not because of himself. So he has to split with the Yarsha. Same thing. If one of the brothers was appointed because he's part of this household, they came for the house. So one guy in this house is going to benefit and get this great job, he has to split it with the brothers. It doesn't seem fair, right? He's doing all the work, but he has to split it with his brothers. Because this special job is because of the house and not because of himself. If he only landed this job because of all the brothers, of course he has to divide it with the brothers. He's the smartest one. The reason why he landed the job is because he's so brilliant. His IQ has 170 IQ. No, it's the household that caused it. Okay, so they picked him because he's a little smarter, but it's the house. One of the brothers took a large sum of money to go to yeshiva or oivei, to go to university. Now, he's out of the house now. He's in yeshiva. Who's going to support him? What do you mean, who's going to support him? We have a bunch of money. All the kids in the house are getting paid. They're going to support him. If you stay in the house, we'll pay. We'll support you. Does anybody think that makes sense? If you're not, you only get supported if you're in the house. If you go out of the house, you go to yeshiva, you go to college, no more. As the Gemara, so what's the difference? Where you are. The state has money to pay for support. You pay for support. This is where it is. I don't know if I should show now. We don't have that much time. In Eretz Yisrael, they have these signs. People from different, if you donate money, they make these signs. He's collecting the signs. We're showing movies now. It's a share with movies. Shem Yirachem.
וזה ישר לא יבוא יצר, תחיו כאן באושר וביושר, תזכו לגדל בונים ובני בונים. משהו לא בסדר?
משהו לא בסדר?
אולי תפתח חלון שייכנס קצת אוויר מהרחוב?
There's no chalon in the machzad. Anyway, okay. You get the idea? I love the beard, mamish. The beard, the frak, the whole zach. Okay, anyway. If we already stopped, what's your name? All the way in the back corner. What's your name? You were here before? A little bit. What's your name?
Natan Urman.
Urman? Shalom Aleichem. From? Modi'in. Shalom Aleichem. Wait a minute, I didn't read emails today? I did. No, because I got an email because we had a guy in that seat and I messed up a shtickle a few days ago. And the guy wrote me a very nice email to no, seriously, that's not a good seat for me. It's like, I'm not going to stop asking people what their name is from that seat. But the guy wrote a nice, because I was a mess for 24 hours. And your name? You, yeah. You also here before? You're here every day for the last 2 years. I got it. Okay. Shalom Aleichem, Yonatan. Says Gemara, what's the difference where he is? There's a concept called economies of scale. You all know what that is? Economies of scale? No. I made that up. If you know what it is, raise your hand. That's it. Economies of scale, basically, if you think about it, I'm not a scientist, I don't know. I think, Misvara, if somebody has 6 kids, and then he adds a 7th kid, it's not that much money. It's not that, he already has the house, he already has the car, he's paying electric, he already has the air conditioning. So a few. His wife throws in another pulka into the thing. It's not the end of the world. It's not that much more. What? Increased marginal cost. I thought I was being fancy. Economies of scale. Increase in marginal cost. Call whatever you want. You get the idea. So, what are you leaving the house? Now you're starting all over. I have to support you now in yeshiva. You need a bed, and now you need a dira and a whole thing, and it's a lot of money. That we're not paying for. So the Gemara says, okay, very good. But it's still going to cost you money when he's home. So whatever that is, pay. It says, how are you going to figure it out? Okay. But it's something. So give him $100 a month. You don't want to give him 1,000, give him 100. But why 0? 0 doesn't make sense. Hachi nami. You do have to give him that amount that it would cost to have him at home. What the Gemara means, if he decides to go to another country and he goes to Manhattan, shkoyach, you know how much rent is over there? You know how much the food costs? That we're not giving you. Stay with us. Be like us. That's fine. Cholav and Nisrapa. Nisrapa Mishalazma, you have to spend your own money. Says the Gemara, Sholach Rabbi Mishmedi Rabbi Law, Lishono El Shechol B'Pshia. If he became sick on purpose, then the estate doesn't have to pay for it. Avaboines, Nebuch, he came down with a machla. Nisrapa and Emsa, then the state has to pay for it. How do you get sick on purpose? The famous Gemara, everything is from Shomayim, Chutz, Metzinim Pachim. Places brings the famous Gemara, Shomayim, Chutz, Me, Yira Shomayim. That's referring to the people and the way they're born, if they're tall, strong, rich, this, that. Okay. But all disease comes from Hashem besides colds and fever. Here we have the famous picture. This guy, you can't claim, What, I didn't show you this? Okay. Rebbitzen Stefansky, he used to get a cold. If he sat next to an open window for 5 minutes, he got a cold. He was very, very sensitive. And they sent him to Siberia in Hebrew, Siberia. So when he got there, he said, Rebbeinu Shleimah, until now it was in my hands. I could stay away from a window. I could take care of, wear 3 coats, the whole thing, take care of my body. Now I'm in Siberia. I can't do anything. You take care of me. V'kachava. He writes about himself. He writes that for the 3 years he was in Siberia, he didn't get sick even once. Not even once. So you could think, I didn't want to say this in the Hebrew share. I was thinking back and forth, and I thought about it on Shabbos. I know there's a thing called Ayin Hara, but I say, you know what, if you give somebody a little chizuk, so on Friday I didn't say it. Now I'm going to say it because nobody's really listening. I know that this story could be true because I've been saying shir for 5 years straight, every single day. And I used to get sick like everybody else. I had the flu once. I was in bed. I couldn't move for 3 days. Literally, you know what I mean, like a serious flu. Poo-poo-poo. You say poo-poo-poo, it works. I remember I strained my neck. I couldn't move. You know how you like sometimes you wake up like this and you can't. And everybody said, "What happened?" I slept in the wrong way. Different things like I couldn't wear my lenses. I couldn't see for 5 years straight. I tell the Rebbeinu Shalom, listen, I'm giving share. Take care of me. To say that you don't get sick. I said it's a shtickle iron hard to say it, but I don't think I got sick. In fact, I got a little bit. I had a little bit of corona. I think I had to push through and give share during it, but not like, Shtickle stroke, but then nothing came out in the MRIs. What else? Chas v'shalom. Shtickle slurring in the speech, let's call it. Nothing major. Thank you. That's the riot, nothing happened. Okay. Yeah.
You walked in.
I gotta say this because we're talking about Rebbitzen Stefansky diving to the Rebbeinu Shalom. So this week's parasha, real quick, we only have 2 minutes. They're coming in already. This week's parasha, Avram davened for Zdaim, and what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. Light. This is just my own ha'ara because I kept on thinking about it. It says that he asked the malachim, Vayiftzar bam. It doesn't say Vayiftzar bam. Vayiftzar bam ma'oid. He was a nudge. Kept on, no, but come on, again and again. You see this idea of like, keep on pushing. Don't take no for an answer. The malachim said, no, we're not coming. Again, until they felt, okay, fine, they gave in. Hashem said, stop, enough, no, but maybe this, maybe that. But the bottom line is, just I gotta say this, because some people get discouraged. He davened and davened and davened, and Hashem didn't listen to him. So what do you do? A lot of people daven and daven, and Hashem doesn't listen. So now you have to say, when Nachshon Waxman got killed, the famous Levaya, I heard this from a bunch of people. Nachshon Waxman's mother got up and she said, everybody daven. Thousands of people daven for my son that he should be saved. He was terrorists. They grabbed him and they botched up the rescue. And she said, I know the Klal Yisrael davened and davened. So how come Hashem didn't listen? Because sometimes a father says no. Sometimes he says no. But what happened to all the tefillahs? They didn't go to waste. They didn't go to waste. Those tefillahs go somewhere else. You daven for this, Hashem says, no, this is not for you. Yeah, I want money, No, you're not getting money. But your daughter is going to get a great shidduch. You take your tefillah from here and put it over here. So don't be discouraged. Anyway, Zok the Gemara. I need to show you this Taisus over here. He says that when a lion attacks a person or you have a robbery at home, that's from a HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A person that jumps off a bridge and commits suicide, that's not from a HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He goes into the whole thing. Says the Mishnah, we got to do this. No, we're mamish behind. They're starting to come in. If you live in Eretz Yisrael, you know all about this Mishnah. It's a shocking thing. I didn't know that much about it. I looked into it. It's a real thing. If you're Sephardi, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you go to a Sephardi wedding, you must pay at least 500 shekel. Here it is. It tells you. If you're dati, you get mamish, you get off the hook a lot. But if you're like a regular, if you're a chiloni, it's between 600 to 800 shekel. It is mandatory. If you don't, per person. You come a couple, you have to give 1,600 shekel. You go to 3 weddings in a week, you're broke. If you're dati leumi, it goes down to 400 or 500 shekel per person. If your chardal is 253, there are rules and regulations. This is I found it online. And what's his name? What? Huh?
It must be true.
It is true. Ask people, ask Sephardim, they'll tell you.
How much
So a lot of Sephardim are becoming Ashkenazi for the wedding nights. Now, the Shulchan Aruch paskins that you are chayiv to pay back. So if somebody comes to your wedding and he gives you $1,000 check, if you're Sephardi, you must pay that back. And he could sue you in Bezdin, and that's what our Mishnah is talking about. So us Ashkenazim, not us, there's a lot of Sephardim in the room. The Ashkenazim have no idea what's going on here. They come, you stingy guys, come to a wedding, you don't give a gift garnished. The Sephardim, they pay up big time. If the brothers were sent by the father to give a check, let's say brother number 1, the Bechar, there's a wedding in the family, so the father says, here, take 1,000 shekel check, go to that wedding, give it to them. Now, when the Bechar Reuven gets married, he's the guy that delivered the check, so the chassan that received 1,000 shekel check, what's he going to do? He's going to give 1,000 shekel back. But to who? Who wrote the check? The initial check was the father. Yeah? Let's start over. Steve Seychelles is my son.
I'm 20 years older than you.
No, you're not. In this story, you're 20 years younger.
Okay, got it.
I give you a check. Here, take this and give this to Eitan. He's getting married. Okay. Mazel. Now, I'm not going to say that I went bye-bye, but let's just say you're getting married now. He has to return the favor. No, not so fast. There's brothers here. You have to share with your brothers. Because it came from me. I have other sons besides you. You have what's going on there?
Who am I giving this to?
To the whole estate. So when the chassan gets married, the one that delivered the initial check, he deserves the check back. No. He has to divide it with all his brothers. Why? Because that check came from the father. And this is something you collect in Bezdin. We're going to see a bunch of halachas about it. There's no ribbis on it, but it can be collected in Bezdin. And if you just give your friend a gift, a nigbib in Bezdin, that you cannot go and ask from Bezdin, has to be that the Vilna Gaon holds You actually owe a person a favor back. If he gives you a favor, you owe him back. You can't sue him in Bezdin, but you owe it to him. That's what Reb David said before. It's gemilos chesed to give a gift to somebody else. Yeah? So whoever sponsored the let's just say, you all Americans out of here, but there's a guy from the Hebrew Shir that sponsored pizza for the Hebrew guys. The guy from the Hebrew Shir, hint, hint. The guy from the Hebrew Shir on Thursday sponsored Shalom for the Hebrew guys. Last week, they participate. They give back. They don't wait for MDY to give them. I'm just throwing it out there. So you guys could also, somebody could step up and say, hey, I'm donating pizza for the Olam on Friday night. Like, what's his name? Einhorn. This for everybody. Or like him. This is tongue for everybody. So says the Gemara, are we there? Should we stop here? We can't stop here. It's no volume. How long is this year going for? 59 minutes. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful evening.